Hi there, welcome to the second episode of today of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is quite a strange situation where we've seen a counter-protest against a pro-UK rally in Glasgow, which those that were countering it actually described it as a racist, fascist, Nazi rally. And the strange coincidence that only one person who spoke at any of the sides of George Square is currently under police investigation. So what happened was myself included and three others were asked and invited to speak at a pro-UK rally in Glasgow's George Square on Saturday. I'll put a link up here to the speech I made so you can judge for yourself whether it was racist, fascist or Nazi, the words used by the counter-protest to describe what we were doing. And they had some speakers at their side of George Square in this what was an anti-racist, anti-fascist rally apparently. And only one person has actually been investigated for what they said at the said rally. And guess what? It wasn't anyone in the pro-UK side, myself included. It was one person from the opposite side of the square who was caught on camera talking to a police officer in a sort of strange terminology used, was caught speaking to a guy who was trying to film on a mobile device, and she took exception because he had a Union flag in his phone cover, and caught on camera by several people while using some not so nice words to describe those at the opposite end of the square while she took the microphone on stage. So these three incidents are all being looked at by Police Scotland, and the reason I know that is prior to newspapers covering it, several people who had made complaints had contacted me, and two women in particular, one who is getting a visit from Police Scotland today to go over her statement, and another who's been invited into a local police office to go over her complaint in more detail. So, The Sun and other news outlets have caught up in this story about Professor Jeanette Findlay, and I'll use The Sun's for reference, and I'll add in my own views and opinions as we go along. So The Sun have today released a story with the headline, Demo Speech Row, Celtic activist professor accused of hate speech and reported to police over sectarian rants at Glasgow rally. She was left angered after police surrounded a group of Celtic ultras. A Celtic activist and academic has been accused of hate speech following a rally. Professor Jeanette Findlay spoke at the anti-racism demo in Glasgow city centre on Saturday. And then there's loads of pictures. Counter-protesters took to the streets after pro-UK rally was organised in George Square. Well, thank you to The Sun, which is something I never thought I would say, because they're giving our rally its proper title and not a fascist, racist, Nazi one, as others in the press, and probably The Sun at some point since the weekend, have described it. Professor Findlay was recorded delivering a speech on stage. She called out the pro-UK protesters, that's me, at the square of members of loyalist groups and the Orange Order. I am neither a member of any loyalist group nor the Orange Order. Professor Findlay added that the demonstrators swim in the same dirty water as racists south of the border. She was left angered after police surrounded a group of Celtic ultras. Professor Findlay said, when you talk about the people who are standing at the back of this square, that was me, and who are assembled in the pubs behind us, that ragtag and bobtail crowd are not who you think they are. They are from the Orange Order. They are from loyalist groups. That's who they are. Well, you're not right there. They are people who swim in the same dirty water as the racists who are in Luton, London, or wherever else. Now, I kind of think the Luton reference is a reference to Tommy Robinson, who everybody tried to attach to that rally on Saturday, and the only attachment Tommy Robinson had to it was the same as thousands of others who shared posters about it and shared things up after it, including my own speech. So that was Tommy Robinson's only attachment, but I think that's who she's trying to get at, because, again, you see the words fascist, racist, Nazi, or Tommy Robinson and attach it to anything, it kind of makes it bad in some people's eyes. So I think that's what she's attempting to do there, unless there's other people in Luton that she might be talking about. She added, a group of anti-fascist marchers, that'll be Celtic's Green Brigade, from our community came to this square, and they're currently being kettled over in that corner by political police who stood and let them assemble. Right. So what she's saying is they're just kettled for no reason, according to her, right? When they actually came in and were the width of the street away from getting into where we were with our pro-UK rally. And I doubt the Celtic ultras, with a hatred of the United Kingdom, a passion for Ireland, Palestine and anything that's non-British. These are the people that sang Lizzie's in a Box when the Queen died. These are the people that abused the silences for the Queen when she died. That's these people who held up banners about Michael Fagan and the likes. So I doubt they're pro-UK, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And if you describe them as pro-UK, they'd probably take offence. So what Jeanette's forgetting to mention is this group of about 40 tried to enter the square where the pro-UK rally was. And I doubt they were coming to take part in the speeches. However, where did we get to? The police allowed them to assemble. I didn't realise that if the police hadn't allowed them to assemble, then that would be bad as well. Oh, sorry, they let them assemble, that must be us, who've allowed them to assemble inside those bars behind us. I didn't realise there was any pro-union people in the pub behind the crackpots. But when our people arrive to stand as anti-racists with anti-racists, they're kettled in that corner. No, when they arrive to try and infiltrate and potentially cause harm to a peaceful pro-UK rally, then they get kettled. And they only got kettled about 10 yards away from the pro-union side, not the other side, not where you are pretending you were trying to go. But when you say you won't allow the right on our streets, can I remind you that the right march on our streets every week, 11 months of the year, and in particular in July, I take it that she's talking about the Orange Order, who do not march in the streets every week for 11 months. They take over a city from the first hour in the morning to the last hour at night. Because if you can assemble for that, you need to stand with us and our community and protect our churches, our places of worship, when those bastards are going past us. Right, so that'll be me you're talking about, because right, you were having a pop at the folk. I'm no member of an Orange Lodge. I'm no good enough with any instrument to join any flute band if I so desired. But I'm a bastard, according to Jeanette Findlay. Now, this is Jeanette Findlay, Professor Jeanette Findlay, who educates young adults at the University of Glasgow. God help anybody who's trying to get their education from that woman if you're not a left-wing, tree-hugging, pretendy Irish Roman Catholic. If you're me, or somebody like me, kind of wonder how she would treat you in her lectures. In another clip that surfaced online, Professor Findlay said to a police officer, "Are you moving the Huns? Are you moving the Loyalists? Are you moving them?" Afterwards, the Royal Orange Institute of Scotland issued a statement. It accused Professor Findlay of directing hate speech towards the protest community. The institution said it had complained to Police Scotland and Scottish Government about her. The statement read, "The Grand Orange Lodge of Scotland strongly condemned the hate speech given by the leader of Call It Out." The Call It Out's a charity which is apparently anti-racist, anti-sectarian, but only for anti-Irish or anti-Catholic sectarianism, because other types of sectarianism must be all right to them. I've never known that in my life, by the way. Somebody that's anti-sectarian, but only for one side, right? There we go. Anyway, Jeanette Findlay on Saturday in George Square. The speech by Professor Jeanette Findlay, Professor of Economics at the Adam Smith Business School at Glasgow University, is a prime example of the hate speech directed towards the Protestant community. I'm part of that. Such rhetoric is harmful and divisive, and it has no place in our society. We must strive to foster a community built on mutual respect and understanding, where all individuals and groups feel safe and valued. Glaringly, for far too long, the poison of anti-Protestantism in our society has been swept under the carpet by successive Scottish governments, and it seems as if at times it is indeed Scottish Government policy to do so. Harsh words from the Orange Order, and I cannot disagree with a single one of them. Todd Ferguson, Tory councillor for North Ayrshire and Arran, posted on X that the speech breached the Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act 2021. A police spokesman said a complaint has been received and is being assessed. Professor Findlay, the economics professor at the University of Glasgow Adam Smith Business School, is also the chairwoman of Call It Out, which campaigns against anti-Catholic, anti-bigotry and anti-Irish racism. The Scottish Government and Glasgow University have been contacted for comment and obviously ignored the request. So, there we go. Total irony. I think it's quite highly amusing that someone with so hatred, I'll put the video, as I say, a link up here at the end of this video, and it shows you the 3 clips of the things I was talking about. Such an angry woman, such a bitterness coming out of her, almost vile, full of hatred towards a pro-UK rally. I doubt I could get upset so much about any people in any country having a rally that was pro their country, especially the one I decided to live in. But I don't think Jeanette Findlay is unique in being someone who has a obvious vile hatred towards Britishness, British people and the United Kingdom. But there we go. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. Please put your comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the video and its content. However, the most importantly of all, unless you are Jeanette Findlay, unless you are any member of any of the groups she ties herself to, everyone else,
have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.